Hey guys, welcome back to Honkai Star Rail. In today's video, we just finished the dev live stream for 1.6 and holy shit, there was a lot in it. So we're going to go through it. First of all, 3 codes as always, they'll be in the pinned comment and the description. Go ahead and get your goodies. They're normally about 24 hours that they last for, so get them quick. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the big one they dropped towards the end, which is that in 1.6, we're all going to get a free copy of Dr. Ratio. Now, that is huge in my opinion. That is one character you get for free, Imaginary Hunt DPS, that you don't have to worry about pulling for. I think that is absolutely amazing. It was basically for all the awards they got nominated for and stuff like that, but that is a free copy. I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty good. A free copy of an exclusive character, solid all round. Now, I read in the fine print, it looks like it's available until patch 2.1, and you can get him once you unlock the mail, and I think it was after his banner is available. If any of that changes, I'll let you guys know. Moving on from that, I'm going to summarize pretty much everything pretty quickly that was in here, and then we'll have a look and we'll look over what they actually said about the character skills so we can get an understanding of the 3 new characters' skills as well. So, first of all, the main story is going back to her space station in a new zone called the Seclusion Zone. That's pretty cool to me. I like the space station. I think it's just a cool area, so hopefully it's a decently sized area that we get to explore. Obviously, I want to get to Penacony, but we know that's coming in 2.0, so we got to wait for that. The other thing that I want to mention quickly that I just thought of is that they had slides of a bunch of new characters, including some sick ones like Sam, who I am super looking forward to. So they did a little bit of a talk about Penacony at the end. They just had slides of new characters. So I'll put them all up on the screen, and you guys can have a look at them and see all those new characters. Pause it if you need to. But that is the next thing that I wanted to cover because that was pretty big as well. Sam, I cannot wait. Also, the demon guy, I've already forgotten his name. You'll see him up there. Looks savage. I like those type of characters. That's just me. Also, as for the banners, we've got Ruan Mei, who is coming with Zhuyi, the new 4-star, March, and Ting on her banner. But Blade is also going to be running alongside her with those same 4-stars. Then for the second half, we're going to have Dr. Ratio and Kafka with Su Shang, Natasha, and Hook. Honestly, not the greatest 4-star options, but hey, those are the banners that are coming. Moving on from that, we got a new Swarm boss that's going to be involved, and then that's going to be your new Echoes of War with this new style of Swarm boss, where the more you attack it, the more things it spawns, but if you break it after it's spawned all of them, then it explodes and breaks them all, essentially. Anyway, new boss, you guys get the gist. Now, there's a new Simulated Universe Golden Gears, which is basically just a new Swarm Disaster, was the way I took it. It's pretty much Swarm Disaster 2.0 with, you know, different stylized things to it. That's the basic TLDR I'll do. I'm not going to go too in-depth into it, but it's a new style of Swarm Disaster is what we're looking at, and it's going to be separate from the Swarm Disaster. It's not like replacing it, I don't believe. It's just like another one that we're getting. So new challenges, new stuff like that. Then they've said that the Pure Fiction's coming in. Now, Pure Fiction, the first time you clear a certain stage of it, you get a free links copy. It's going to give a total of 720 Jades, and it's going to like alternate with MOC. And basically, it's not what I first thought they said it was going to be. It pretty much just looks like an AoE Memory of Chaos, where when you kill enemies, they keep respawning, and you've just got to deal a certain amount of damage or kill, like get a certain amount of points by dealing damage and killing enemies. In a certain amount of cycles. So it's pretty much just AoE MOC is the way I see it. But I could be wrong on that. We'll have to wait and see. MOC 11 and 12 are coming in, which is going to increase the bi-weekly Jade income to 720 total. There's also going to be a new currency and a new shop, which you can get things like self-modeling resonance from. The Forgotten Hole auto clear function, basically it's going to default to stage 7. So if you 3-starred stage 7 in Memory of Chaos previously, then all you have to do is jump in and clear stage 7 and you get the rewards for all the previous stages. I'm pretty sure that's the way they said it will work. They're going to make the daily quests easier. They're already pretty easy, but there are some days where you get some shit ones, and it's just nice if it can be easier, so I'm cool for that. Next up, the quality of life thing, which won't affect too many people, but especially for new players, it's good, and that is that you can farm stages that you haven't unlocked. Meaning, like, you know when you start off a game and you're on Herta Space Station, but you need to get to the low food to farm your Ascension materials for like Tingyun, I'm pretty sure is one of them. You can now farm those stages from the menu without having to actually have gone there, which I think is a really good quality of life that we should have had from the start, because that was triggering with Tingyun. The other thing is we're getting free 10 pulls as well. The same standard date, the login event that we always get. And then, like I mentioned, the last thing I had on there was the free Dr. Ratio copy. And then they had that Penacony thing at the end where they went through all of those characters. So that is pretty much the TLDR of what happened in the live stream, along with the character introductions, which we're going to look through now. All right, kicking it off with Ron May.
Basic attack, Threading Fragrance, deals ice damage to a single target, while my skill, String Sing Slow Swirls, can increase the weakness break efficiency of all allies. There's also my ultimate, Petals to Stream, Repose and Dream, which creates a field.
Only the most beautiful field I've ever seen. A work of art, madam.
Within the field, allies experience an all-type resistance penetration increase, and when
So we've got weakness break efficiency on the skill, and then we've got all type penetration.
breaking an enemy's weakness, they afflict them with a mark.
This mark is triggered on the enemy's next action, prolonging their weakness break state, delaying their action, and inflicting them with additional ice damage.
So she's all about breaking it, essentially. Weakness break efficiency, all type penetration, puts a mark on them, and when you break them, it extends the break, delays them, and deals extra ice damage. I'm pretty sure I got all that covered in the recap there. Let's keep going.
You have a knack for exploiting an enemy's weakness, Ron May.
I'll say, and we didn't even mention her technique, Silken Serenade, which allows the team to automatically trigger an effect equivalent to her skill at the start of the next battle. In the simulated universe, when Ron May possesses Silken Serenade, and when an ally attacks a simulated universe enemy, the battle is entered as if the enemy's weakness was attacked. The attack ignores weakness types and can deplete the toughness of all enemies. Breaking a weakness can trigger the weakness break effect that corresponds to the attacker's own type.
So basically that technique, when they're talking about the in the simulated, because she's got the extra benefits in the simulated universe, because she's a simulated universe themed character, Genius Society. I'm not going to get too in depth into that. Anyway, it basically, you use her technique and then any character becomes like Silverwolf, where they break anyone with their own break type, is essentially what it's looking at. That's the way I understood it anyway.
Not only that, in the simulated universe, for every blessing possessed, the toughness reducing damage of the current attack is increased, and extra additional ice damage is dealt.
Well, very.
And I think that's based purely on the technique damage on the entering of combat. And I mean, I guess it's good for the that's going to be the new thing. Like, you know how Imbibita was like the man for the swarm. She's going to be the woman for the what the hell they call it? The golden gears. Get around it. All right, next character. All right, here we go. Dr. Ratio. Let's get into it.
During his basic attack, Mind is Might, Dr. Ratio brandishes his Codex, dealing imaginary damage to a single target.
Question, why does he carry a codex with him?
Well, intellectuals enjoy persuading others with quotes. I think Dr. Ratio takes that to mean hitting people with them directly.
Dr. Ratio's skill, Intellectual Midwifery, deals imaginary damage to a single target, while his talent, Cogito Ergo Sum, may trigger him to launch a follow-up attack after using his skill. As a rigorous academic researcher,
So skill, they didn't say anything else about it. And then talent is that after he uses his skill, he has a chance to land a follow-up attack. That's what we got so far.
Dr. Ratio pays close attention to his enemy's debuffs during battle. The more debuffs the enemy has, the higher the chance of him launching a follow-up attack.
Pretty
And let's
simple
not
there.
forget his ultimate, three-step paradox. The good doctor summons a leaning tower and through a series of precise calculations and measurements, plots a trajectory of maximum pain. The target enemy suffers imaginary damage and is afflicted with Wise Man's Folly. When a target with Wise Man's Folly is attacked by an ally of Dr. Ratio, he launches his talent's follow-up attack against the target.
Okay, TLDR of that is skill, they didn't tell us anything about it. Talent does the follow-up attack. Ult, single target damage, and puts a mark on them. When an ally attacks that marked enemy, he does a follow-up attack based on his talent, I'm assuming, is what it was.
And when using his technique, Mold of Idolatry, Dr. Ratio creates a dimension and taunts nearby enemies. When attacking an enemy within the dimension to enter battle, there's a chance of reducing the target's speed.
It would appear those 5 statues are made in his own image.
Now we're just getting into flavor text, but reducing speed entering in battle, I feel like that could be very beneficial in a lot of situations, so that's not too bad. Obviously, loses effect once you get well geared, although it still has the effect, so I think it's not too bad, that technique in general. And because it's one of those field type ones, I'm pretty sure you can swap between characters before you jump into it. Let's jump in here and have a look.
When using his technique, Mold of Idolatry, Dr. Ratio creates a dimension and taunts nearby enemies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a dimension. I'm pretty sure you can swap out of him. So that's a pretty decent technique as well. Moving on to what's honestly just off appearances, my favorite character from this patch. So I'm back in a sec. All right, now we're on to Shui Yi. I honestly just love this character. I think she is wicked. So let's get into it. 4-star though.
Basic attack, Mara Sunder All, can deal quantum damage to a target enemy. Her skill, Iniquity Obliteration, can deal quantum damage to a single target and adjacent enemies.
Skill is Cleave.
And as a judge of the Ten Lords Commission, Shui Yi's talent is a little out of the ordinary. When Shui Yi and an ally deal damage to an enemy's toughness, stacks of karma are accumulated.
I don't know if that's supposed to be Shui Yi and an ally, or Shui Yi or an ally, because how does the and part work? Does an ally, like, do they both have to inflict weakness break on the same enemy before anything happens? I don't know if that's meant to be and or in that statement. We'll have to wait and see.
So she's good at trying criminals?
The best! When karma stacks to the upper limit,
And the upper limit looks like 8 based on what we're seeing on the screen.
Shui Yi immediately launches a follow-up attack on the target enemy, dealing quantum damage. Her ultimate, Divine Castigation, can deal quantum damage to a single target and toughness depletion that ignores weakness types. The more toughness depleted, the greater the damage.
Breaking.
Honestly, that sounds like she sounds like a really good character. You got this stacking thing where then you got to deal like extra damage. You got to cleave on the skill, and then your ultimate ignores break types, and you just break anything. Like, who needs mono quantum anymore when you're just breaking anything anyway? I think that is wicked. Honestly, really solid 4-star kit. Depends on her damage multipliers, but she could be up there with a really good, just all-around 4-star damage dealer.
Weaknesses irrespective of type.
Animations look sick too, by the way. Look at that.
When Shui Yi uses her technique, Summary Execution, to attack an enemy and enter battle, she deals quantum damage to all enemies.
So that is going to be it for this one. Like I said, a ton coming. We get the free copy of Dr. Ratio. Let me know what your favorite part about all this is. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.